In this video, come along with me as I explore some of the strangest and most unique attractions in Alaska's capital city. Though this city is small in size, you'll find that it's packed full of surprising and offbeat attractions that truly make the city one of the most unique in America. This is your guide to the weird and wonderful of Juneau, Alaska. So I'm down here at the waterfront, right here in the heart of downtown Juneau, ready to embark on a food tour with Juneau Food Tours. This should be a really fun way to spend a Sunday afternoon, so let's go taste the best of Juneau. So the first stop here on the food tour is the Taku Smokery. And this place specializes in salmon, of course. So we're gonna go in and try some hot smoked salmon with some cream cheese on a cracker. So this should be pretty good.
There's enough here for everybody to have two. If you want to get two to begin with, that's fine. If you just want to start with one and come back for another, that's fine too. But this is hot smoked versus cold smoked.
All right, I'll try these out. All right, on to the next stop here on the food tour. Beautiful day. All right, the next stop here on the food tour is Tracy's King Crab Shack. We're gonna try some king crab bisque as well as some king crab cakes here. So I'm gonna go try one of Juneau's most beloved institutions. All right, trying out the king crab cake. Wow, really good. So next up is this king crab bisque that I'm gonna try now. Wow, it's got a lot of flavor. Wow. After, we stopped in at the Juneau Food Tours office where we sampled some local products, including a salmon roe cracker and some unique kelp salsa. From there, it was onward to Deckhand Dave's to sample some Alaskan beer and their signature blackened rockfish taco. All right, back here at Deckhand Dave's for another blackened rockfish taco. These are outstanding, absolutely delicious. All right, the last stop here on the food tour is the Crystal Saloon, where we're gonna try some halibut ceviche and our last drink. So let's head in and try this out. All right, trying out the blueberry mojito. That's really good, wow. All right, trying out this halibut ceviche. Bottoms up. I love ceviche, and that's one of the best ceviches I've had. That's really good, wow. So another very unique attraction here in Juneau is the Whispering Wall, and that is right here at the Fisherman's Memorial. Basically, if one person whispers something with their head against the wall, you can hear it just as clear as a microphone across from one spot to the other. Pretty interesting. So these sculptures that you'll see pretty well all along the waterfront here in Juneau are called Aquileans, and basically they blend the sacred animal of the eagle with the whale to create this Aquilean creature. Two sacred archetypes of native culture blended into one. This was a commissioned art project, I believe, for the city of Juneau to beautify the waterfront, and pretty interesting artwork to say the least. So my next stop is the Totem Trail, so named because of the many totem poles that line this boardwalk along the waterfront. You can see the Aquilean statues on the left and totems on the right. So again, totems basically tell a story of a clan, and they are iconic of Northwestern native cultures, including the Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian peoples. So I made it here to Elizabeth Peradovich Square, and she was a civil rights hero that predated the civil rights movement here in the United States. She was around in the 1940s, campaigning for Alaskan Native civil rights. Pretty interesting history. So again, you can find art where you least expect it here in Juneau, including the electricity boxes. So pretty cool farm line art here. Very artistic city. All right, our next stop here is the Costco, the world's smallest Costco here in Juneau. So I'm gonna go check out just how small it is. Let's head inside. So despite being the world's smallest, it's quite spacious, probably half the size of a regular one for sure. So I came to the back in search of the Costco rotisserie chickens, only to discover Juneau doesn't offer rotisserie chickens. All right, on to the next weird and wonderful stop here in Juneau. So my next stop on this tour of Juneau's weird and wonderful are the Treadwell Mine ruins, right here adjacent to Savico Park on Douglas Island. So the Treadwell Mine was the first large-scale development project in Alaska, and over its time, opening from 1882 to 1922, it extracted 3.3 million ounces of gold, so pretty incredible. So I'm gonna go explore these ruins and see what I uncover. And this here is the historic 5-stamp mill. Pretty huge. Built 1881 by the looks of it.
Hello, my name is Travis Smith and I'm talking to you from the Treadwell Alaska's Lost Mine Tour. We're a new company that opened up in 2023 and we take small groups on a intimate 90-minute walk through the lower portion of the Treadwell Loop where we talk about the history of the city. We've got some custom software that we run on iPads, leverages augmented reality to bring to life things that used to be here. And we're gonna also be able to show you a small black and white image gallery of the site as well while we take you on our 90-minute tour of this area.
So you can see the walk through the park brings you through the woods. Nature is kind of reclaiming the former town of Treadwell. So you can see just these ruined structures everywhere with trees just growing on top of them and nature taking back what was once here. Definitely a weird sight to behold to see these old structures just consumed by the forest today. So cool. So again, this town was abandoned in 1922. So that's when operation shut down. So everything you see here is well over 100 years old. And this here is the saltwater pump house. This is an iconic landmark here on Douglas Island. Very historic piece of the former mine that once stood right here in Treadwell. So this place truly is like a living museum. Everything kind of lying in place as it once did. So after a short hike, I've arrived here at the Treadwell Mine office building, built in 1911 and then expanded in 1914, and it's still in pretty decent shape considering its age. And as you can see, there's tons of old mining equipment pretty well everywhere around the park. So do watch where you step, but it is pretty interesting to discover these old relics just lying about here. So you can see some old photographs here of what life was like inside the offices during that era. And there's the mine right here, cross section of it, looking kind of from ground to below. And there's the vaults right here. Yeah, so all the gold that was extracted, I guess, will end up here in the vault. And this is the door leading to the old general store, which you can see a photograph of right here. And if you take the augmented reality tour, a lot of this just pops up right to life on your iPad. So pretty interesting. I'm not taking that tour today, just to clarify, but I've heard it's well worth taking. And you can see here kind of an aerial view of Treadwell back in the day. And again, all of this is kind of lost to the forest today. This is one of only 2 buildings that still stand here in Treadwell. So you never know what you're going to come across here in Treadwell. This is a massive, giant flange that's just half buried by the earth at this point. So really incredible to see these massive pieces of machinery just scattered around the park.
After exploring the Treadwell Mine ruins, I moved on to check out Glacier Gardens, Juneau's 50-acre botanical garden nestled in the temperate rainforest of the Mendenhall Valley. One of the most unusual highlights are the visually striking vertical gardens, planted atop upside-down overturned tree trunks. The gardens also feature plenty of walkable paths lined with vibrant flowers, shrubs, and trees that thrive in the cool, moist conditions of southeast Alaska.
The landscapers here have basically transformed these overturned tree stumps into these kind of hanging gardens. So you can see just how beautiful this is. Just a lush green setting filled with flowers. Great place to go explore.
The highlight of Glacier Gardens is their guided golf cart tour, which takes you through the rainforest to a stunning viewpoint that offers pristine views of the mountains and sea below.
Juneau just keeps surprising me with the variety of often unusual sights that it has to offer. Definitely worth exploring this pretty unique botanical garden, located just an easy 10-minute drive north of downtown Juneau. So Glacier Gardens, definitely check it out on your visit to Juneau. Very weird and wonderful place.
So my next stop in Juneau is right here at Sheep Creek, and this is one of the best places to bird watch, including bald eagle watch here in the city. Pretty incredible natural spot right here on the south end of town near the Thane area of Juneau. So Sheep Creek is one of the natural salmon runs right here in Juneau, and you can see the salmon are basically running upstream. You can see the seagulls trying to get them, and they are definitely active. This entire creek is full of salmon, both alive and dead. There's a few that didn't quite make it, that maybe got a little bit too close to shore, and in some cases got pinned down by a log. And on the other side, the views are also very majestic. You can see the raging rapids of the Sheep Creek coming down. Small waterfall there in the distance. Pretty wild spot. And very cool to see these natural salmon runs located just a 5-minute drive from downtown. It's absolutely incredible just how much wild nature there is here in Juneau. Again, an amazing destination for you to come and explore, and definitely stay here at least, 6 days, 7 days to really soak everything up and get a sense of this amazing, amazing capital city of Alaska. So my next weird and wonderful site here in Juneau is the end of the road. That's where we're headed. So this is the road, as locals here in Juneau call it, and it's Highway 7, Alaska Highway 7, extending from Juneau north about 40 miles all the way up the coast towards the direction of Skagway. So the first stop on our way up the road is the Shrine of St. Therese. And this is a Catholic shrine located right here, just kind of on the coastline, north of Juneau. And you can see there's plenty of different buildings here, biblical gardens, different shrines, and also a Catholic retreat over here. And beautiful views, so it is absolutely stunning. You can see why they chose this. Sacred ground, so you need to keep it down in here if you visit. So a beautiful chapel here. Looks like it was erected in 1938. Beautiful. All right, head inside. Oh, beautiful chapel. So there's some pretty ridiculously beautiful coastal views here. Really beautiful. And a massive cross right here overlooking the sea below. All right, we spotted a marmot here. Just kind of basking in the sunlight. He's kind of staying still for us. Just getting his suntan in. Cute little creature. And this here is the Merciful Love Prayer Labyrinth. Kind of a maze made out of stones, so pretty interesting. All right, the next stop here along the road is the Salt Chuck. Beautiful reflections on the water today, as you can see. Gorgeous spot. Wow, so many nice places to stop along the way as you explore the area north of Juneau. There's so much on offer here, right out of town. So much wild wilderness that stretches 40 miles north of the city, so you got plenty of options to choose from. So our next stop here is Amalga Harbor as we make our way north to the end of the road. Beautiful spot here. The sun is a little bit lower in the sky now, so it's a bit backlit, but you can see some beautiful mountains there up the Lynn Canal and the harbor right here. So prime fishing spot by the looks of it. Yeah, gorgeous views. All right, our next stop here on the road is the Eagle Beach Park Recreation Area. You can see beautiful stretch of beach. The tide is moving its way in right now. So this is probably about 30 miles, I would say, north of Juneau at this point. All right, well, we have reached nearly the end of the road here. This is Echo Cove, another beautiful spot. You can see
Beautiful views of that mountain range off in the distance, and kind of a sheltered little cove here just off of Lynn Canal. Anyway, we are continuing now to the very end of the road, just a few miles north. So you never know where you're going to encounter art here in Juneau, and this place is literally about 40 miles north of the city. Along the road, we see this beautiful piece of formline art above this mural of the glacier. So literally everywhere. Juneau is an incredibly artistic city. And you can see this just came out of nowhere. No one knows who the artist is. And honestly, some incredible local native formline art. All right, we are approaching the end of the road. As you can see, the pavement is pretty well running out. All right, well, just over 40 miles north of Juneau, we've arrived here at the end of the road. So that's pretty much it. This just turns into a trail from here, and you can head on a hike up to Berners Bay, which is just beyond. Well, definitely an amazing day here in Juneau, exploring some of the weird and the wonderful of this amazing state capital of Alaska. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about Juneau, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.